All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for June 14th. All right, as far as roll call, we are missing Mackenzie, and Jerry said he would be on his way, so he'll be joining us soon. So we're going to start with the approval of minutes, and that will be from May 10th, 2023. Did everybody get a copy?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll take a motion.
I move to accept the minutes as presented.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any comments, discussions, additions? All right, then all in favor to approve the minutes as written from May 10th, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, so I hear a ding.
I was like, I hear the elevator, hold on.
So Jerry's going to be, so Jerry's going to jump in here, and then we'll move to our next agenda item.
Good evening.
All right, so our next agenda item is going to be the nomination and election of chair for the next year. So with that, I will throw that over to Councilwoman Fuller
I
to
feel
start
like
the
we just
process.
did this the other day. Like,
I know.
It doesn't feel like it's been a whole year.
A year passed by.
So, lady and gentlemen, no. So we're going to be looking for a nomination for the position of chair, board chair for the Parks and Rec Committee.
Yeah, I would like to nominate the current sitting board, Kelly, to maintain her role as board chair.
Do we have a second?
A second.
I will second that nomination.
Okay.
That's a third then, yeah.
I know.
All right then.
I don't even know if we need to vote now. So all in favor for Kelly to be the board chair again, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? There we have it. Ayes have it. Congratulations. Welcome back.
Kelly?
Thank you for believing in me for another year. So here we go. Another fun ride, right? Right. All right, so unfinished business. And boy, there's a lot of business to be talked about. So with unfinished business, I'm going to throw that over to Lorena to give us an update on all wonderful things.
Yes, indeed. So the first item up is update on Bollinger Park, and this is so exciting. What a happy day. At long last, we are going to be breaking ground. Hobbs Contracting will be beginning the initial construction next week. And he'll be working practically around the clock and in all kinds of weather so that we can open the park by September 30th. That is our goal, and we can make our grant deadlines. Very important to claim that almost $400,000 in grant funding from the federal level, state level, and yeah, it's very important to be able to get that funding reimbursed.
The opening date.
September 30th is when we are projecting to be completed, yes.
Okay.
So we'll have a grand opening ceremony, ribbon cutting and all of that early October, and it'll be open to the public. Perfect timing for fall, for all the beautiful fall foliage in there. The pollinator garden is already going in. Cedar Hedge has been working on that, and we have 2 planned community volunteer opportunities next Friday, the 23rd, and next Sunday, the 25th. Both of them are from 2 to 4 p.m. And everybody's going to meet at Cedar Hedge Farm, and then we'll just walk down through the meadow to the pollinator garden area. As I said, they've already started a lot of that, clearing the pathway that's going to go through the pollinator garden, putting in big rocks for accents and guides and things like that. So it's going to be very pretty. We are also on track for the local sculptor, Noah Russell. He's going to be constructing for us a mama bear standing up and a baby bear next to her. They are going to be called the Bollinger Bears. So what better name? The Bollinger Bears, and it's alliterative too, so I like that. And if anyone's familiar with his work, has anybody ever been, past Littlestown on the way kind of to Hanover? On your right, is it Breiner's tire, Firestone, big thing. He's done those sculptures out of old tires. He creates creates a steel frame, takes old tires, and forms them into these incredible creations. He's got a lion there, a dragon, a headless horseman with a rearing horse. I mean, really, really cool. He's a very talented artist. So we're gonna have those. And that's gonna go in at the first juncture of the main trail and the first ramble trail. And with that, I'd like to review the park layout as depicted on the map, which will go on the trailhead sign, copy of which you all have in front of you. So we start off with the entrance off of Fringer Road and the small parking lot there. You'll see the trail sign, "You are here." That's where the trailhead sign is going to go. And then the main pedestrian trail that winds through. There's that first ramble trail, and that's where the bears are going to go. That bear sculpture is going to go right there at the juncture of the ramble trail and the main pedestrian trail. And the trail winds around, goes over the first bridge boardwalk across that stream, and then winds up through. You have the Vista Area Overlook 1. I'm thinking about putting a swing bench there. I've ordered the swing bench, but I'm trying to decide where it should be positioned so it has the best view of Piney Creek and across. I think that would be the best place for it. But we'll find out. When Public Works and I go out there and we look at locations for the benches and site amenities, things like that, we'll figure it out at that point. Then it continues on next to the second bridge boardwalk over the stream, and then the second ramble trail. And now the Vista Area Overlook 2 is on that ramble trail. And ramble trails, these are going to be not paved. The main pedestrian trail is going to be constructed of and I know you all already know this, but I'm repeating this for listeners at home. The main trail is going to be constructed of a rubberized porous paved material that is eco-friendly, meaning when it rains, the water goes down through tiny little holes in the rubberized surface so that the ground underneath and tree roots and such are still nourished by that, and it doesn't have a lot of runoff and flooding and getting the path all washed out. So it's going to be completely ADA compliant. Visitors of all, experience levels or whatever will be able to walk on it, wheel on it, all that kind of good stuff. The ramble trails, though, they are going to be just basically cleared and mown. And so they're going to be kind of rough a little bit. And that's thus the name Ramble Trail. Going back up along the main trail there, we hit that pollinator meadow and the garden within that. That is 2 acres. It's going to be rather large. So we do have those community volunteer opportunities to help plant some of those pretty flowers and things like that. They're all going to be perennials, all native plants, of course. And then winding back up to the meetup point, as I want to call it, before the bridge boardwalk, and then back up to the trailhead. So the total trail length, if you walk it once, is almost a mile, 0.91 miles. So I think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be peaceful. People will be able to fish in Piney Creek. They'll be able to get down there and fish. And the signage. Well, first of all, does anybody have any questions about this trail map?
Anybody? We're good? Okay.
And we also put the inset, as you can see up in the top left corner there, of all of the parks that are in Taneytown. And then, of course, kind of like that red square, "You are here" at Bollinger Park. So I think that will help people also become aware when they come here, there's, Roth Avenue Park. I didn't know about that,
Right.
or what have you. Yeah.
Like,
You've also received a copy of the interpretive signage that's going to be going along the trail and at the trailhead. These signs are being manufactured by Pulse Design, and this company makes signs for parks all over the country. So what you see in front of you on your table is just basically the drafts with my editorial changes to the company. So once we get the proofs that are customized for us, I'm going to forward those on to you for your review, and you can take a look at those and make any suggestions before they do the manufacturing. And that is all I have for Bollinger. Does anybody have any questions on Bollinger before I move on?
We're good? I just want to say congratulations for making that happen. I know that was a lot of work with getting the final,
Yes.
everything.
The final plans.
All the final plans, getting them together to get
Indeed.
it finally approved, so.
Right.
It's been a long time coming, and you did awesome, so.
Indeed. I mean, when we think about this project having been conceived basically back in, was it 1997? The Bollingers donated the parcel that they owned to the city. And, you know, like I said, the conception was to make a nature park. And then we accrued the other parcels. And here we are. We are finally making it happen. And it is going to be a wonderful day when we can walk that trail, that ribbon cutting.
Absolutely.
Okay, so moving on then, update on Memorial Park expansion project. Aero Consulting should have the preliminary design completed by the end of this month for our review. And then the indication from State Highway is positive, very positive on that road access from Frederick Street. So we're moving forward on that as well.
Oh, very good.
What's that? Sorry.
Oh, so that's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Once we've reviewed the preliminary plan, you know, in-house with Aero, then they're going to submit that to the county for the commencement of all of their agency review and comment and approval, those agencies that have to give us the approval. And then the formal road access permit application during that timeframe will also be submitted to State Highway. The preliminary plan will also be on the July 31st Planning Commission meeting agenda for presentation and review. And then it's going to be up for the commission's approval at their August meeting. And then we'll do, of course, the same process with the final plan. Any questions on the Memorial Park expansion?
So would we have to have a meeting sometime in July to go over that from Arrow to?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Not much is gonna change from the
Okay.
concept plan that we
Just making
have
sure.
already seen. Yeah, just more basically engineering details
Okay.
that are gonna be going on that, so.
Okay.
Update on general park improvements. I don't have any updates at this time. Everything reviewed in our last meeting. We'll be kicking off after July 1st and the new fiscal year budget funds are available. So we can check back on the minutes or the meeting recording for last month's meeting to go over all of that because it was a lot. So we're going to be very, very busy after July 1st.
Just a little bit.
Just
Yeah,
a bit, yes.
just a little
Yep,
bit.
Yeah, with, again, Flickinger Park being first priority.
Right.
on
And that's also
general
in
park
the
improvements.
meeting minutes from May.
Correct.
So.
Yes, it
if you need
is.
to look over that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I think that is that all I have on, oh no, wait, update on 2023 events. Yep, the other hat. Switching gears. Yoga in the Park kicks off on Tuesdays, June 20th, through August 22nd at Memorial Park at 6 o'clock, except for July 4th, for obvious reasons, and July 18th. All classes are free, and we've received lots of registrations on that. So that's always a very good program, very well received. We are once again partnering with Taneytown Men of Faith and the Carroll Arts Council to bring movies in the park back this summer, as previously discussed. First movie scheduled for Saturday, June 24th, so that is next Saturday already. There's going to be a total of 5 movies. I'm going to run through them really quick. Top Gun Maverick is on June 24th. Black Panther Wakanda Forever on July 1st. Jesus Revolution on July 15th. Lyle Crocodile on July 29th. And E.T. the Extraterrestrial on August 12th. All movies will be shown at Memorial Park at 8:45 p.m. or dark and are free, again. So bring the family out. Have a good time. Bring some food, some snacks, what have you. Chairs, picnic blankets, whatever you want. The Independence Day celebration will be held at Memorial Park on Sunday, July 2nd. So that's going to be a busy weekend because we'll have the movie in the park and then July 2nd. Also Gentle Giants Horse Rescue, a draft horse rescue. Harmony Autry with Firehouse Battery is doing a fundraiser for them, for their cause. And they're gonna have a draft horse there.
Oh,
So
very
that'll be
cool.
kind of neat to see that. And it's a painting. You pay $25 to paint a scene, you know, one of those guided painting things. And then part of that funding goes towards the draft horse rescue.
that's nice.
So that's nice,
Yep.
yeah. But anyway, back to the Independence Day celebration. We're gonna have food trucks, DJ's gonna be there, we'll have games set out, and then the big showstopper of the fireworks around 9:30, 9:30-ish. So that's gonna be a good time. Can't wait to see those. So keep your fingers crossed for good weather for that one.
Always, yes.
We've coordinated the summer Hapkido program to martial arts program with local business owner Stephanie Sullivan of Chose Hapkido. So that program is going to run also at Memorial Park from July 10th through the 14th from 2:30 until 4:30 in the afternoon, and that's for ages 5 to 15, also free. So let's get some signups on these free programs, free events. Our summer tennis clinics will run the same week from July 11th through the 13th, and that's also led once again by local instructor Darian Nail. Now, there are fees for this tennis clinic, but the city is subsidizing most of the fees, so it's a very discounted rate for participants, and they vary by age group. Family Fun Food Truck Friday event is scheduled for July 21st at Memorial Park from 5 to 8 p.m. And for the food trucks, we have Taco Trap House, It's All Good, Tasty's Barbecue, Amber's Bake Shop, The Ice Bowl, The Cow, and the Husky Hut Coffee Company. We'll have games, a DJ, pony rides, petting zoo, a bounce house. So lots of good fun and good food for everybody. So we'll start pushing that publicity. All of the events, you know, are basically being publicized. We've got them out on our Facebook page, of course, and we push them as we get closer to each event. They're on the city's website calendar. They've been posted, flyers have been posted at the library. They're being published in the Taneytown Record. And, oh, speaking of the library, I'll be attending the library's summer reading kickoff event next Wednesday in the afternoon, and I'll have a table there and have all of the flyers for all of our events and programs out on the table with me.
good.
Yeah, and our little Taneytown Parks and Recreation sports bag, drawstring bags, this little goodies for the children and families. So again, just helps to get the word out there to the community. Do you want me to just keep moving right along?
Anybody have any questions?
Any questions
thus
on any of
far?
the events, programs?
All
Okay,
right, you're good.
alrighty then. Update on program open space grant funding. So, as stated previously, last month's meeting, it's our turn for receiving the 25% of the county's share that they split between municipalities. Every other year, it's our turn, so we're up. And the county is preparing to submit everybody's applications along with their own for the majority of the funding that they get from the state to Department of Natural Resources for review and approval. The two projects we're using this funding for, and it's, I say $150,918 this year.
Okay.
We're splitting that between two projects. We're replacing the Memorial Park, the little smaller tot lot playground that's over near the pavilions and under the trees. And we are providing some field lighting for softball at THS Park. So that's gonna, you know, the baseball teams have had field lighting for some time now, and softball needs them desperately. So that'll level the playing field a little bit, sorry. I couldn't resist, yeah. So they're gonna be getting some lighting there at 2 of 3 of those fields.
Okay.
2 of those 3 fields. But those projects were approved by the county commissioners at their June 1st meeting, so we're clear on the next step. And now it's gonna go to, as I said, to DNR from the county. Then once DNR approves them, then it'll go up to the Maryland Board of Public Works for review and approval. So depending on when we get on that agenda, we could either be lucky and get through that review process and approval process so that we could do these projects this fall. I don't know. Or, you know, if they don't get to us until October, November, then
Right.
it'll probably wait
It's gonna
until the
be
spring.
spring.
Yes, yeah. But the good news is that both projects can be done simultaneously because there'll be two different companies, obviously, doing those. And additional miscellaneous updates, just a note on the Memorial Park splash pad. We're gonna be working with Metro Recreation on this. They are a local, I think they're a Frederick County company. They do playgrounds, they do splash pads, they do a lot. But really decided, in meeting with and discussing with the various vendors, our project vision, they were the most, realistic, I'll say that, because a lot of them are like, oh, yeah, you can do this,
Right.
you can do that, and it's $1 million, and wait, what's your budget? Oh, well, yeah, we don't know if we
Right.
can, yeah, you know, kind of thing. So Metro Recreation, though, is very excited. They know what our budget is, so they're gonna work within that to provide the most that they can, the most features. And again, we're gonna be going with that recirculated water system, so we can save on water and not have it just run into the sewer plant nonstop.
Out of curiosity,
Yes.
will they keep in mind the options maybe to expand on it later? do you
Yes,
think, too?
yes, that was
Okay.
discussed as well. That was discussed
Cool.
with all of the companies.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed.
That's
So
awesome.
we
Okay,
can,
great.
it would be a matter of, we'd have to excavate a little bit on the edges to get
Right.
down to that recirculating tank to hook
Right.
up, but then we could get up, and then it would be
would
just a
work.
matter of,
Awesome.
going
Okay.
out, spreading
That
out.
sounds
And the
really fantastic.
location that we've chosen in Memorial Park for that, to trench the water lines over, it's I think I said before, the grassy area over on the other side of the tennis courts. So we've got plenty of room there to expand out, for sure, yeah. So that'll be nice if we decide to do that in the future, but definitely the splash pad is moving forward. It's so exciting. So Metro Recreation is getting a preliminary design and a proposal ready for me, and they're gonna have that, to me by the second week of July. So forward that on to you all for your preliminary review. And I'm gonna use that and submit a grant application to DNR for their community parks and playgrounds grant opportunity. So every little bit helps. If we get it, our
Absolutely.
fingers crossed,
Sure
you know,
does.
it's less that we'll be spending, so, and maybe, a couple more features, we'll see. Also, under miscellaneous updates, I conducted park inspections last month and gave Public Works a long, long list of things to do. Just little things here and there, but it was in every park. I'm a perfectionist, and I go through and I see things,
We
like,
got the list.
oh,
yeah.
there's some sticker residue on this piece of equipment at the playground, on the list, what have you. So they'll be working on those items throughout the summer. And again, I cannot say it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our Public Works Department. They are fantastic. They're second to none, and they work so hard
They do.
in
They do.
all types of weather, the heat, the cold, you name it, the rain, they're out there, and they're the unsung heroes, truly.
Really are.
So we appreciate all that they do. And that is all I have under unfinished business. Anybody has any questions on any of that?
So if anybody wants to volunteer for the pollinator garden, how do they contact you directly?
They can contact me directly for more information, but they can just show up.
They can
could
just show up?
at Cedar
Okay.
Hedge Farm. And if they can't make those 2 dates and the times, Natasha with Cedar Hedge Farm said, just give them my cell number. They can text me, and I'll meet them here at any date and time and
Oh,
go
that's
down there, and
wonderful.
I'll help them out. High school students, community service,
yeah.
requirements.
Oh, there we go. Community service.
Court system, community
Perfect.
service hours required. She'll, anybody can come and arrange it with her ahead of time.
Of course.
And then go get some planting done, some mulching. She's got a tractor trailer load of mulch.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I've ever seen a tractor
So much
trailer
mulch.
load of mulch coming in.
crazy.
I mean, I've seen them
Okay.
on the road, but I've not ever seen them
Right.
like actually coming in and dumping it all there. Woo! So, yeah. Any help is appreciated, for sure.
Okay, that's great. Anybody have any other questions? Going. Okay. Quiet bunch tonight. Okay. All right. So new business. We get to talk about some events that we had. So-
Yes, indeed. So we're going to start off with the post-event discussion of the Memorial Day ceremony and parade. The weather was great, and I think everything went really well. It was a busy day, but the ceremony was beautiful. And I want to, first of all, I want to thank Dan Dennis, our Director of IT, for being present on the day and filming everything. He put together a fantastic video. Looks really nice. And if you're listening at home, if you haven't had a chance to view it, hit that Taneytown YouTube channel and take a look at it. It was very nice. The parade, I think we had, well, I know we had more participants than last year. We had the band, we had the second-hand horse rescue, regular horses, not draft horses. Although those would have been cool, marching in or walking in the parade as well. But it seemed like everybody had a great time. Good time, lots of fun, not enough candy. Tossed out. I know.
Every year, I think I have enough, and it's not.
Right. And we had great weather again. Like I said, it was awesome. So, does anybody have any notes on the Memorial Day activities? Anybody? Nope. We're good to go.
No.
All right.
I think it went well.
Yeah. So now the big one, the biggest
Bum,
one
bum,
of the year.
bum.
Dun, 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 dun. The Wine, Art, and Music Festival. Again, another busy day, but I think it was a success, and that is definitely due in a large part to all of you for helping out. I appreciate it. Jerry, I know you couldn't make it because of other obligations, but you helped out before.
And we'll get you on the next
Yeah,
one.
we're gonna get you on the next one, that's right. But,
We'll catch
um,
you next year.
yeah, it was really good, and I like the model that we used this year with the free general admission.
Yes.
The craft vendors did very well, except for two. Two, just, I don't know if it was the product that they were trying to sell or what the situation was, but, they were like, well, it's been kind of, idly, but oh well. All but two of the beverage vendors did exceptionally well. They were very happy with the day. The two beverage vendors were Linganore Wine Cellars and Elk Run.
Really?
So I'm not quite sure why they weren't. Linganore seemed to be selling a lot. I just think that it seemed like their event staff weren't happy with the accommodations, I suppose, meaning the porta pots.
Well, I
So,
guess they're bigger
know.
wineries, so I'm
They are.
assuming that they were
Maybe they're
expecting a
used-
higher.
Yes, a higher caliber with
Well.
the air conditioned portable bathrooms.
Well, and I
Sorry we
also
didn't have
think that
those.
they probably wanted to sell more, or they were
Maybe.
prepared to sell more.
Maybe.
And,
Yeah.
obviously, I mean, we had a lot of people, but it really just depends, because
Right.
sometimes with those ones, you can just go down to.
Right, so they
Down-
already.
down
to
the
Taneytown
road
Liquors
and
pick it
pick
up.
'em.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah,
Right.
you just never know. The food vendors were very happy with their participation of the day, and they all did really well, and the food was great.
It smells so good.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry, Judy. Judy did not get it.
no, the
Did
food
not
was
get to eat
excellent.
any.
Yeah, the
Yes.
food was great.
Yeah, but it was really good. Mackenzie, who was not able to be with us tonight due to work obligations, she did make a note, and I will read it aloud here. She said that a few vendors said to her that they wish that they could have had the option to add on a tasting band at a discounted rate, maybe like $15 or $20 instead of the $25 for the regular admission. But she said that overall, everyone she talked to had great success and a great time. So I'm thinking if we offer this option in the future, in which case it would just be another box that they check on the registration form and quantity of how many they want. We'll definitely have to keep that separate, obviously, from the regular admission stuff. So we'll have to have like vendor wristbands off to the side, and when they arrive and they check in and they get set up, then we'll go around and, okay, check the spreadsheet, you ordered 2 wristbands, you ordered, whatever such type of thing. So we can do it. I mean, it's definitely an option. If you all think, and we can discuss this later as we really get into the meat of planning next year's festival, whether we want to go ahead and throw that option out there to them. Yeah. Speaking of separate, cash boxes and things like that, on that note, Barry, our treasurer, and Kathy in the front office tallied everything up, which was much easier this year due to the separate cash boxes and keeping the separate lines.
Yeah, good.
And all of that, yes. And it looks like we made a little over 200 on the event. I think you all have the preliminary event cost sheet breakdown. So that's all right. We'll take that. That's good news. Being in the black is always
Right.
better than being in the red.
Absolutely.
And, I think that the event was definitely a success all the way around. There were a lot of things going on out and around the county, and private graduation parties and things like that. So I think our attendance was pretty good. I think we were estimating it at around 400 something. It's hard to calculate
Yeah.
without one of those little
I know,
clicker
without that
talliers,
clicker. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think that we did well. I
Mhm.
mean, we had to watch, what we spend, but we did,
Right.
so. No, it was awesome. And next year, we don't have to, I don't think, have to spend that much on glasses.
I think we're stocked up for glasses.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think.
So we will not
So
have that
that'll be
expense
good.
next year.
So-
Right. Yes, indeed. So we should do even better next year.
Lorraine, I do have one question. So I know with, obviously the alcohol component of things, that's part of the reason of being within the football field fenced-in
Yes.
space. Is there any flexibility to the space we utilize? The only reason I say that is because, Memorial Park has some really great trees that provide shade.
Oh,
And I feel like
yes.
every year, at least on the days where it's, sunny out, last year we had a little bit of rain, I think, but that heat's always part of that component.
Yes.
And when we look at some of the prices, for expenditures, tents is one of that bigger price point. Would there be any option to potentially utilize other aspects of the park and maybe do the beverage vendors within the tennis court area, or would that pose a
I don't want anything
problem?
set up on the tennis court.
Okay, yeah,
Surfaces, that acrylic surfacing, no.
Right.
And I think you're supposed to keep, right? Do you have to keep the alcohol?
The alcohol
right
has to be
in there
fenced.
Alcohol
Yes,
has to be
it has
within
to
a
be a
fenced
fenced
area,
area. So the other option we could do is to buy or rent that, like, construction temporary fencing and put it up. But at that point, if you're spending it on that,
Right.
we may as well just hold it on the football field. And the only thing with that is, the shade, the lack of the shade on the football field, and also the pets. I feel bad turning people away or putting out there, on the event posting, look, while we normally welcome pets in Memorial Park, they can't be on this festival ground because it's actually our football field.
Right.
And pets aren't allowed, except for service dogs. They aren't allowed on any of the athletic fields or the playgrounds. And that rule is posted in the park. But, people, they have their canine companions, and they want to bring them in. They want to,
Yeah.
take them around, and I get that. I do. But
But that could be a liability down the road
yeah.
for the city anyway, if two
Right.
dogs came in and,
yeah,
started fighting, hurt somebody else, so, yeah.
at
I
a
mean,
festival,
yeah.
right, at
So-
a well-attended event like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anybody else have any other notes, any suggestions? Yes, Bill?
I have a couple of notes, actually.
Okay, I'm ready.
First one is the good one,
Okay.
or the really good one. As I was going around doing my
Quality control?
quality control on the beverage department, the vendors that I had a chance to really talk to were very pleased with the turnout, and they were very pleased with what they were selling. They were able to, they said they were doing a good business for the day.
Good.
So, that's just another positive note, you know, from another point of view.
Right, yes.
Okay, and now to the things that my partner Sue and I had questions about.
Okay,
The location of the signage directing people to the payment stations.
ah,
We had numerous people who came in from the paved parking lot and into the gate with cash in hand. And we had
oh,
to
they
keep
came right up to
directing
you
them.
to the glasses table to pay.
Yeah, and we
Ah.
had to keep directing them back out to the green tent.
Okay,
And I
gonna
think that
order.
So
goes
if you
hand in
could
hand
put
with what we had
some
talked
kind of
about,
just,
too, is redoing the tables at that entrance and changing that entrance up. So then if we blocked that, so they had to go, just directions.
So instead of, you know
And
what,
you
maybe
get-
it's, instead of setting up the tents and the ticket lines out there on the gravel in front of the field house,
Do it
put it
right where there's
inside.
double-
Inside
Right,
at
when
the
they
gate.
first come in,
Uh,
there are the ticket lines and then the glasses
it
table or
used to be,
whatever is
it
on this
used to
side.
be there.
Okay.
And, well, back,
Back.
the, when you paid, you got your glass right one
At one
spot.
table, right, one spot,
Stop
gotcha.
shop.
But with the system that you've developed, which I think is perfect, keeping everything separately. If you just had the payment station immediately inside or just
We'll move
outside
it
the
in.
gate.
Yeah, I think that, plus then we can stake the tents down.
Yeah.
How many times were you guys holding on to the tents when the breeze
Or-
came up
or it
because you
was
can't stake it
falling.
into the
Yeah,
gravel?
Or it was falling, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could do the station to pay, then the station to get your glass, then the station for the raffle.
Yeah, just have
Yeah.
it just.
Bing,
in
bang,
line,
boom.
just to- Yeah.
Yeah, just do it, yeah.
Yeah, that was, you know, that was just one of the crazy things. People would come in,
Waving
cash in
cash at
hand.
you.
Yeah, no, you have to go over here.
Yeah.
That was
Not that they were all bent out of shape about it.
Right,
But it was just
Right.
another thing
yeah. Kind of funny.
we might make a little easier for
Yes,
everybody.
yes, that's a good suggestion, so
Uh,
we'll do
uh,
that.
you know, I think the change with the free admission for, you know, just people perusing the craft vendors, that probably added to that element because in years past, we would want to,
People were just moseying, and you're not gonna ask them, like, yeah. You know, are you here to cruise, or are you here to? Right, we just kind of let them go, so.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I will also say that we got many positive comments on the affair from patrons as they were coming in.
Oh, good.
And especially one lady and her daughter and friends came up from Cockeysville,
Nice. Okay,
and
awesome.
she inquired about the park system. And she said, boy, you've got this really neat tot lot over here. And you've got the, and I had to explain to her that, yes, we have a whole lot of things in this park. And we have other parks in town. And that we're expanding back behind out this way. And we have plans to put things out there. And this woman was just blown away with the amount of stuff that we had. She says, I gotta bring my granddaughters up here.
Just wait until the splash pad's open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We might have to
So,
expand that
You
parking
know,
lot.
that kind of stuff, you know, especially being involved in it. If I could, you know, I was able to explain to the people what was going on around here. They were in awe of what we were doing.
That's awesome, yeah.
So that was
great.
pretty cool. And then the last thing on my notes, we had lots of inquiries from people who wished to purchase additional glasses.
Okay, we can do that. We actually have a cash box that we just have miscellaneous sales. So what we can do is, and we've got little like, you know, they're little acrylic, stand-up signs like this, and we just
Yeah.
put a little piece of paper in there, whatever, a little sign that says,
Yeah.
stemmed glasses, I don't know, $5,
Yeah.
'Exactly.
5-ounce tasting
People
stemless,
were
Yeah.
$2,
digging
whatever.
how
Yeah.
much, people with regular admission
Right,
wanted to upgrade to a stem glass.
right.
Oh, that's a good
And
idea.
actually, some of the people
Yeah.
with the VIPs wanted to purchase the small glasses just as an additional.
Right. Yeah, it's a perfect
Thing.
size, for a little
So,
tasting or
if
shot
we
or
could,
what have you.
we could work that out.
Do that then. Next year, we'll do that. So,
The only thing I would be worried about with people having extra glasses while they're in there, though, is
Yeah.
them sharing it with people who don't
have the tickets.
So I
Yeah,
would
the
say it would be
wristbands.
something that we would have to
Do
have
outside,
them order.
do it outside of the, yeah, that's true.
That's true. Well,
No, but that's still, yeah.
Well, that's even if you have it outside, let's say, we've moved the ticket lines into the fenced area, right?
Right.
And then outside where in front of the field house on the gravel, we've got that table with like the glasses to be sold separately. Yeah, people with general admission coming in and out, oh, I'm gonna go buy a glass. Oh, hey, psst, I gotcha a glass. So
So it would almost
let's
have to
hit
be
it
a
up.
different glass.
But the
entirely.
vendors, it's
It
gonna
has
really
to
up to
be
up to the vendors, the beverage vendors to check those wristbands. I mean,
Right.
if they police it, that's fine. I mean, honestly, they're the ones who would be losing out by giving
That's true.
tastings to, you know what I mean?
That's true, for somebody who doesn't have a band.
Right, exactly. I'm not gonna go around, and I don't think any of you wanna go around and say, hey, you with that glass and a tasting in your hand, I don't see your wristband, you're
I'll
out
do
of
it.
here.
I'll get 'em.
I mean, right?
I do that.
Yeah.
No, but I think, one way we could look at it to, potentially mitigate that concern is to put the glasses at a price point to where they have to question, should I just buy the band? Right? If
Right.
if they want the glass
True.
enough, they might buy it, whether it's $10, $15. And then at that point in time, you're really kind of just a few dollars away or from the price point of actually paying for the full tasting. So just something to consider.
That's a good idea. And they're worth $10. I think they're nice glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, and they've got the Taneytown logo printed on they're nice, I think.
Well, like I say, even some of
Might be a
the,
little biased.
even some of the VIP people wanted the
The little
smaller
small one,
glasses.
yeah.
Because I will say,
Just because they liked the fact that it had the Taneytown logo on it.
sure. Yeah, I will say
That's
that
what they wanted.
when we were doing the ticket lines, that is one thing we encountered was people who were wondering if they could get in and buy drinks without paying for the tasting. So they were like, oh, can I buy from the vendors? And we were like, I know we were kind of weighing back and forth. We were like, well, I guess so. And they're like, well, how do I drink it? It's like, well, you need a glass to drink it.
Right.
So, just trying to make sure people aren't trying to go around that system in terms
System,
of,
right,
oh, I don't need
exactly.
to pay for tastings, I'll just get the glass. And I mean, at that point in time, you pretty much get the tasting as well, so.
Right, yeah,
Just-
That's
exactly.
true too.
Right,
Right.
so.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any other observances, suggestions?
It's just what I heard from others that said that our vendors were really impressed with the way that everything was set up, the way that to go in, to unload, to park, everything about it with setup, they were very happy with. So, and I think it went pretty darn well
It
as far
did.
as everybody coming in. It's magical just how,
Yes.
like, they all know now. They're like,
Yes,
I'm
what
going
to
in
do,
here.
In and out.
Yeah.
Jerry, Mr. Gessel inquired about you. He wanted to know, just kidding.
And he'll see you next year.
At the Harvest Festival, I'm sure he'll be there.
Wine Fest, I see him,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Now, I did hear, there were people from, he said Cockeysville. I know we had the raffle prize winner from Ellicott City, and then we
Right.
had some people from Glen Burnie who also had somehow seen one of our advertisements, I think. They said while
Yes.
visiting some friends, so.
Yeah, and somebody
think
saw
it's spreading. I
something
think the
on
word is
NPT.
spreading.
That's right. I think,
yeah?
yeah. somebody-
PT, come on.
Okay.
Hey, we're getting up
We
there.
made the news.
That's great.
Yeah, that's exciting. And the only thing else I want to add is I love our golf cart.
Oh, that was the best purchase
Lifesaver.
ever. Yes.
Ivan, but I mean, it makes it so much easier to actually set up than like walking and like
Oh, yeah.
Tony was fantastic. Need ice? phew,
Right.
you know, that
Who
kind
knew
of
a
thing.
used golf cart could be such a blessing? I mean, really.
Blessing,
Yeah.
and like putting stuff in there and getting, I mean, so much better, because I think, you know, in years before, like, we would be there after 7 PM, still putting stuff away.
Still hauling stuff
You
around,
know,
dragging
and
it
I was
behind us,
like,
yeah.
what was it, 10 of 6? And I'm like, wait, we're almost done. Like,
It's
how
only
did
been a
that
12-hour
happen?
day. How'd that happen?
Also, we can throw on our list to discuss,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Tony mentioned that too, about vendors. He said he was talking to vendors, and usually they do like startup ice, or they bring,
Yes, yes.
what was it? I wasn't sure. Was
So
it
a
startup
lot of-
ice, or
Yeah, so
like
a-
2
a
bags
few
of?
of the beverage vendors let us know in advance that they needed startup ice or they needed refill ice. But then as they were arriving and
They
setting
did
up,
not.
oh, hey, can we get some ice?
Yeah, I had 2 vendors that said,
We were running out.
where was that on the application? Or I didn't know
Right,
anything about
Right,
it. And I'm like,
exactly.
Okay, so.
but I mean, we have an ice machine that's barely,
Yeah.
that barely works. So I don't know if there's any way that, I
Yeah.
don't know if we buy like bags of ice, and once we're done the initial, somebody go and buy it and then buy ice.
Well, I think his.
Just so nobody else that, if somebody
Yeah.
put it on their application saying they need it, we should.
Honor
We
that,
should
yes.
honor
They get
that,
first
obviously,
priority
not-
over some, just like the vendors, the craft
Right.
vendors who need help with setup. Those who have requested it in advance, they get the priority, you know,
Right.
assistance. Those who arrive and then request it, it'll be as available. So I think the same thing
Right.
with the ice for the beverage vendors. We'll modify the registration form to include a line about, do you need ice? Yes, at startup, yes, a refill, both, you know, or whatever, or no.
Right.
They'll need to fill that out. If they don't check any of those off and
We
they
can't
arrive and
assist
they
them.
say, hey, we want some ice, you know, we'll make it available. And I'll put that note on the registration form as well.
Yeah, because we had the
So, as
vendors that
available if you
came
don't
that
sign up for
wanted
it.
the ice, and as available, well, we did have it, but the ice machine's not generating enough to do the
To keep up
refill
with it.
ice for the
Mhm.
ones that needed the refill ice. So that's kind of, so I don't know if we need now an ice person to get ice.
Right.
Just something to
exactly.
think, something to think about.
Well, and that is something that we could do. We could just stock the freezer in the football field house with,
As much as possible.
right, if we can, you know, Kenny's and Food Lion were very generous in donating waters and sodas for the VIP tent and for waters for the staff. So maybe they would donate, you know, like 5 bags of ice a piece or something like that, so we can stock the freezer. So that way, once the ice machine is depleted with what it's made in advance and just
Right.
can't keep up with on generation, then we just hit those bags of ice. And then, again, those who have signed up in advance to receive the ice, they get it. Those who arrive and say, or during the event, we need more ice, if it's available, as available.
Right.
Type of thing.
Okay.
Alrighty. Oh, and real quick, I guess I should have run down the ticket numbers. So on your worksheets there, the spreadsheet, you see that our total sales, we sold 157 regular tickets and 66 VIPs. So Taneytown Liquors helped us out with that. We had a few regular admission sales at City Hall, but the majority of these were online and at the gate. At the gate was the big one. 114 tickets, regular admission sold, and 10 VIP sold at the gate. And then 42 regular online, 43 VIP online. So it's working, the model's working with just a couple of tweaks, and I think we'll be there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah,
you know,
every year we learn
learn,
something new.
We figure it out, you know, but yeah, I mean, and it's consistency, and that's what it's all about, so. I mean, again, even if it rained next year, rain gear on, we're having a party, so it's gonna happen. Does anybody have any more to discuss in regards to the Wine Fest?
Yeah, I mean, just 2 last thoughts. I was really excited to see the large there's a pong game. So I think, maybe one additional set of that would be,
Okay, so two sets of that.
yeah. And then I know a couple years back, we kind of overdid it in terms of some kid options and things like that. But I was thinking on like a beautiful day like we had on Saturday, just something as simple as like maybe like a bubble machine or something like that for the kids that are there. In one
Oh.
of the sections might be good. Obviously I was there with my kids, and we had some other families there as well. So just something for those younger kiddos that might be there with their family members for the
Right.
event. So
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Bubble machine. All right, I'll see if Fun Events has one of those. That is kind of cool. That would be neat to see bubbles floating
Yeah.
along in the air and everything. And
If
the kids
not, we'll
love
need a
them.
volunteer to blow bubbles all day.
Yeah.
Let me do a shout out too. So we did have one volunteer from the community.
Yes,
So
Pat Long.
Pat Long, and she worked all day. So thank you, Pat, for reaching out to Lorena and coming and working. And she was nurse for me when I hurt my finger. And she did it all. So thank you so much for volunteering with us, and we enjoyed getting to know you, and we thank you so much for all your help. All right. Is that it?
That's all I've got. Anybody
Oh.
have anything else? We can move on to reports.
Reports. Do we have any reports from council to us, or is there anything we should know?
No, I don't think so. I just can't, I can't express enough how thankful we are for everything that you all do. And I mean, just even sitting at the raffle table, at the wonderful things that I heard about just the event and all of the parks and everything. Having vendors and people tell us that this is the most organized event that they've ever been to is huge, I
Is
think.
big.
So that is just a great shout out for Lorena and everything that she does, and then all of the volunteers that we have. So I'm just so thankful to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for volunteering your time all day, even when you weren't feeling well yourself. But we had Councilwoman Cheney, who spent most of her day with us. We had a couple council members that came to walk around, and they said it was wonderful and had a good time. So that's exciting.
Yep, the mayor stopped in, Commissioner
the ma-
Vigliotti
yeah.
stopped in. Yep, so
So
we had some good visitors.
It was a beautiful day.
it was a great day. All right, so on to that. So board member comments. We'll just go down the line. Do you have anything for us?
Nope, no additional comments.
I have said my piece.
He said his piece. Look at that. He said his piece. Again, my comments are that I appreciate all of you for volunteering your time, because that is the biggest event, and it's crazy, and you blink and it's over, but in between all of that, it's all of you that keep it running. So Lorena, thank you so much, since you're a department of one, between getting, following your part ready and rock and rollin', and the expansion project, everything on top of trying to get this big event happening is amazing all in itself. So we are very thankful for you. So thank you so much for working, 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 working. And the only thing I wanted to put, and maybe I'll put it on the record, I want to make sure, once again, because we have another couple of big events coming up, that all of our sports leagues have the event schedule, and to make sure that nothing is being scheduled on the fields for those times, and that they are aware. So maybe we should get maybe another email reminder to TAA leagues, and see if they can respond with received
Right.
or something. Absolutely none, because we had that issue. So other than that, public comments, there are none. So before that, do you need any help with setup for 4th of July, food truck Friday.
If anybody wants to come and hang out with me for Food Truck Friday, you're more than welcome to. I'm
you
just gonna
try?
have a table there with the flyers for other events,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it. Fun events, they're wonderful. They come, they set up their thing, they're gonna be doing their DJ, and then,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, unless you wanna come saddle up the ponies, I mean, I don't think any of y'all are necessary for that, unless you, like I said, just stop by, come and enjoy, get some food, you
Right.
know, enjoy, bring the
Obviously,
kids.
if you don't want to
yeah.
volunteer, obviously support, you know, the big events coming up. But
Right.
if you need anybody, obviously, send us an email and
Yeah.
holler at us and somebody will step up. I'm
Already, will
sure.
do. Yeah, the next few should be easy. I think the next big one's gonna be the Harvest Festival, but even that, because it's
Much.
free, there aren't any ticket sales or anything like that. It's easy. It's just
Right.
helping the vendors set up and take down. That's it.
Yeah.
On that one,
Well, there you go, Jerry.
yeah.
Your calling is coming up. Okay, so good news for us. So if you, obviously, we are taking July off. So that's exciting because we're going to consider that our vacation for the year. So we're going to take July off. So no meeting in July. We will come back in August. That will be August 16th. Is that correct, Lorena?
That is correct, yes.
All right, so August 16th, TAA doesn't happen until
September then, right.
Okay, so August 16th, we are starting exactly at 6:30 PM.
Are you sure? Do you?
I didn't mean to look at Jerry when I said that.
As good as possible.
I know, I am, no, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
really didn't mean to. And if you need us for anything, you know, as far as looking at anything, just
Know to get ahold of me.
send us, yeah, you know where we are.
Will do.
So with that, if nobody has anything further, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, I have Bill, do I have a second?
Second that motion?
All right, I have a second. All in favor of adjourning until August, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we'll see everybody in August.
Have a great
Happy summer.
Yeah.
Good summer.